Is this what made us great? I don't think it is. It's crazy weird. Yeah, it is. Super weird. What is this? What is it? Give me a second. That's your responsibility, your job, to not welcome these people who block and undermine Somalians in a country. And this is also another really big component, is that these people are not arguing from a position of policy. They're not arguing from a position of ideals. They're arguing on race-based identity politics. Vote for me because I'm the same ethnicity as you are. This is antithetical to the American way. It's antithetical to the Constitution. It is antithetical to all philosophy and Western reason, period. And they are coming in here, and her big sell is vote for me because I'm the same race as you. Oh, no. Oh, God. No. Not again. All right. Let's see it. Here we go.
As much as Trump and his cronies want to act like we have no power to respond, the truth is we are more powerful than we think we are.
Right.
And I want to underscore the importance of using every single leverage that we have at our arsenal.
That's why you got to do the same thing against them, is because if you don't, they're going to do it against you. That's why you never, ever, ever take half measures with people like this, because they will do the same thing to you if you give them the chance. So you never give them the chance. You got to see things for what they are.
Because we do have a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that those who are collaborating with the authoritarian regime pay a costly price. As much as Trump and his...
Thank God. Thank God we have a bunch of foreigners coming into our country trying to tell us what our politics should be. This is amazing. I'm so happy. Absolutely incredible. At least she's speaking American. True.
She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with... go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
That's my boy. There it is. Oh my God. Wow. See, I've been waiting on it. Why we had to wait for this for so many years? We should have been doing this right off the bat. Oh my God. Prove it. Yes, this is what we want to see. Yeah. Get these fucking foreigners out of our country, come in here, try to micromanage and tell us, oh, this isn't what America's about. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You just came here 5 years ago. You're gonna patronize everybody else. Who the fuck are you? You're talking about trying to work in the best interests of Somalia. Our country, Somalia. Nah, bitch, your country is America. And if it's not, get the fuck out. Bro.
He's always talking about the Constitution provides me with... go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. She's always talking about the...
I am so fucking sick of foreigners coming into our country trying to patronize us, use our values against us so they can push their own reductive ideals, their like, again, this is what happened in Minnesota. They were getting mad that everybody wasn't voting for the Somalian because they're Somali. Like, I don't want to have more race-based, identity-based politics. Why the fuck are we importing a bunch of people that want to, like, we're importing, like, fucking tribal blood feuds from Africa into America. What the fuck is going on? It's crazy. Jacob Frey speaks Somali too. Yeah, that's Lawrence of Minnesota. I know that. I don't even blame him. Like, this guy, honestly, somebody said this guy was born in the wrong century because he's meant to be born in like the 16 or the 1500s, where like he's sent to like a foreign country to like manipulate the people there into becoming a British colony, which is like, honestly, that is pretty much like, he played them. He beat them at their own game. They came to his house and he beat them at their own fucking game. It's impressive, man. Lawrence of Minnesota. So, yeah, I saw this too.
So let me get this straight. Y'all calling Trump a racist for holding these Somalians accountable, cheating the system.
Yeah.
And 88% of them are all welfare.
I don't know if it's 88%.
So that means us hardworking Americans getting all these taxes taken out of our check. And
Yeah, thank God. Let's import more people that have an 88%. Oh, let's say, oh, it's not 88%, it's only 50%. Oh, wow, that's so much better. But what are we doing? We going in here like it's only 88%? Yeah, exactly. Like, God damn. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is the level of dishonesty and bullshit. Like, it's crazy that they just expect Americans to just fucking import all these people, don't do shit, and pay for all their stuff, man. Does that make you fucking mad? Makes me so fucking mad, man. It does make me so fucking mad.
88% of these Somalians
10% is too
are
much? Yeah.
prisoners. What the hell
A
is
quick
wrong?
Google would show this is false. No, you're right. It would show it's false. You want to know what the real number is? The ones that are on Snap, to 44%. Let's go find it. 42%. I got it wrong. It's 42, not 44. 42% of them on food stamps. Google will tell you the truth. Yeah, there's this one here. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, it's only, guys, it's only 40%. It's only almost half. That's the wrong chart. And that's only one government assistance program. That's food stamps. That's not the other 50 other assistance programs. That's only one.
Which then I'm
He
gonna
did say
try to
welfare?
make this
Snaps on welfare?
She's at the girl.
I get that.
Ilhan Omar, whatever her
Yeah.
name is. She's here, sending out a message to other Somalians, speaking in her native language.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't want to have people come here to this fucking country to start speaking some fucking foreign language and trying to run for political office and having these, like, weird foreign ethnic groups that are trying to get political power in America that don't even fucking speak English. Like, this is way over the line. Like, ridiculously over the line. And steal money. Yeah, and steal fucking money.
And she keeps saying our country, referring to Somalia, but she's in the United States.
Exactly.
And she's in
Yeah,
the office.
100%.
She works
Yeah.
for the government.
That's right.
She is a politician.
For them.
What kind of shit is this? You
Exactly, bro. What kind of shit is this? Exactly.
would never see an American go to another country.
Imagine doing this. Imagine going to fucking Japan, China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, fucking Morocco, like some of these countries, and then saying, oh, we're going to do what's best for us, and you're talking about Americans. Like, what kind of disrespect is this? It's outrageous. Absolutely out. Yeah, it's crazy. It's serious when you call it English and not American. Yeah, it is.
Get in office. Refer
Yeah,
to
no, I
our
hate this
country.
shit.
Speaking about America
I hate
in that
this shit.
country. I hope I
Yeah.
made that made sense. Are y'all cooking?
It makes sense.
Not to mention, Tim Walz, who's running Minnesota as governor. Like, what happened to our country, bro?
He retarded.
Like, this shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I'm seeing Democrats who don't even like Trump. And
Yeah.
they're
No,
like,
this is
I
too much.
actually agree with him on this. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
this is one of those like 90-10 issues. Like, anybody can see there's something wrong here. Anybody can see
Still
that.
think he's a dickhead. But I agree with
Trump,
him.
the thing is, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to agree with Trump on everything. Like, I think almost nobody agrees with Trump on everything. Like, especially for me, right? Like, the Epstein shit, like, you fucked this up so bad. But, like, you should stop thinking about things that way. Like, stop thinking about, like, you have to go all or nothing on everybody. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way anything works. That's the way Twitter works. And maybe if you only live on there, that's why you think that way. But everywhere else in the world, that's not the way it is. Follow the idea. Yeah, follow the idea. Magus on Twitter? Who gives a fuck? There's so many retards on Twitter. You should never be basing what you're doing off of them.
On this. And then let's play a game and switch the roles. Put any other president and Trump's place right here.
Yeah.
Taking a stand on all of this madness that's happening.
It's outrageous.
And y'all would not have an issue with it. Y'all only mad because it's Trump. Y'all soft as hell.
It's the same to Epstein files. Oh, yeah, let's release the Epstein files. Bro, like, you had 4 years to do that. Biden was in office.
I don't like his delivery.
Yeah.
And a lot of y'all wish y'all had the balls, stand on business
Yeah.
like that. You wish you could put your opinion out there like that. But you're too
Yep.
scared to. When Trump rubs you the wrong way. Because you know your bitch ass can't do it.
Woo, that's a fact. One whistle. Is there another one here? It's deeper than Minnesota. I'll watch one more.
Come see Columbus, Ohio,
Yeah.
fraud investigators. If you go to the government-assisted housing areas,
Yeah.
you will find that most of the housing is Somalians.
Nope.
I would say about 80% of the government-assisted.
Why are we putting our tax money to house foreigners in our country when we have people that are homeless that are Americans? What the fuck is going on? Alien, you gonna make fun of the way she looks? The fact is that she should be in that house before they are, because she's a fucking American. That's the way it works.
Housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians, and the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars.
No way!
And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards.
What?
iPhones stuck up in their hijab. My smoky's back. Yeah. And then go to the businesses that are owned by the men.
Uh-huh. What about them?
Because see, what happens is when you have a restaurant or when you have a little corner store and you have a couple of wives and you only have one, then that means the other wives get EBT cards. And
Oh, that's convenient.
EBT cards
How about that?
to buy food for your store.
Oh. Wow.
Or what you can do is you can get a home health aid card. And then you only hire Somalians to work the home health aid. And what you do is you just make sure their paperwork looks right. It don't have to be right.
Oh my God.
And you send them off for those home
What
health
is this shit?
Y'all don't want to talk about fraud.
Yep. It's crazy, man. Close it. Yeah, this is unbelievable where this shit is happening, man. It is. And, oh, they calling it like Nazi Germany?
Growth in this state, they have contributed a lot to the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis. And yes, folks have done, horrible things, and people have committed crimes, but we should not be pointing the entire community in one brush and being...
Then stop calling criticism of it racism against the entire community, and then look at the criticism of people inside of your community as individual isolated incidents rather than trying to defend them by categorically assigning racism, calling them Nazis or something like that. The only people, like at the beginning, people said, oh, well, there are these bad actors here. Let's get rid of the bad actors. Then people that are in the community go and they say, no, this is racism. Originally, it wasn't a race issue. They made it a race issue to hide accountability.
Single about fellow Americans. There's a justice, there's a process, a due process, and I believe those folks have been dealt with by the state leaders. And but
obviously not.
Now, President Donald Trump singling out and attacking one group of people, and ICE being on our streets and asking people documentation. It feels like we are in 1930s, 1940s in Germany.
Then go back. Go back. This is crazy. You're gonna say it's like a Nazis? It's like the Nazis because we don't want illegal aliens in our country? This is outrageous. I'm glad that finally, like, this is such a just dramatically ridiculous, just like totally unfair, stupid fucking thing that it even exists. I'm so glad that it's taken this to effectively, I think, finally radicalize and wake people up to this problem. It's outrageous. It's been going on for a long time. Palestinian gas chambers. This is literally Nazi Germany. Yes, holy fuck.
I never thought there would be a time where I will tell my community to carry their passport around because you look like Somali. You might be stopped by ICE.
For sure, guys. It's just like Nazi Germany. The audacity of these people is outrageous. I'm from EU saying this. Yeah, y'all got your own problems. You got people doing that too. As a German, it's insane to compare this to Nazi Germany. Back then, they would have killed them, no questions asked. They take the horror away from the word. They did, and this is the reason why. Is that the reason why they do it is simple. It's because they want to emotionally manipulate you and take advantage of you to make you agree with them by co-opting your own values, your own morality, and your own viewpoints against you, to then weaponize them in order to take advantages for themselves. That's what they're doing.
Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
Why did it happen?
I think what happened is that, you know, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
So it's their fault that they got scammed. That's it. She's saying that's it. And so this is the reason why people get fucking mad, is because you're going around saying that it's the fault of the people that made the system, that there was a bunch of scammers. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, you could say they need to improve the system, sure. But at the same time, it's really the fault of the fucking scammers. At this point, they're so invested in this narrative, admitting they were wrong would paint them in the worst light. Yeah, I know. Why do you keep listening to her? Is she full of shit? No reason to listen? Well, that's the thing. They don't deny that they defraud the American people. Well, of course they did, because it's undeniable. It's fucking obvious. So yeah, anyway, I think this is very fucking annoying. It's extremely frustrating. And hopefully now people are finally figuring it out and they're understanding it. But it has taken a extremely long time for people to pick up on this, right? And what is this here? Hello, no more promoting the Safari restaurant. The owner who, oh, here we go. The owner who donated to her campaign was convicted of feeding our future for $250 million fraud scheme. Wow. And you got this right here, right?
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. There are reports that the Trump administration is planning to send ICE agents here to the Twin Cities to target our neighbors of Somali descent. This is part of a recent pattern to single out our Somali community members. This is rooted in the idea that if they spew hatred, it will
She looks like Bill Clinton.
divide us. But we won't let that happen. There are no roving gangs of Somali people in this community harassing, threatening, doing anything to any of our community will divide us. But we won't. There are no roving gangs of Somali people in this community harassing, threatening, doing anything to any of our community members. So let me repeat that again, because I've heard this before.
Let's hear it again.
There are no roving gangs of Somalis targeting or harassing or doing anything inappropriate to any community members. Those are simply lies. It is not true.
I see them.
Our office at the Hennepin County Attorney's Office here will not
Got it.
assist in any way, shape, or form in any of these ICE raids. From our small business owners to our healthcare workers.
I think that what we need to do,
to children growing up in Cedar Riverside.
what we need to do is that after we solve this problem, we need to bring these people up on charges of sedition. We do. We gotta put them up on charges. Like, I think it's not enough to win. You have to take all the people that were against you and make sure they are never against you again. You gotta put them in jail. Absolutely. Like, this is outrageous. Because here's the problem. And this is an abstraction. It's a second order effect. And so people might not get it directly. Whenever you don't do your fucking job and you let these people run wild, it doesn't matter whether it's Somali, they're Antifa, they're white, they're black, they're Hispanic. It doesn't fucking make a difference. When you let these people run fucking wild and cause problems, burning shit down, beating people up, stealing shit, fucking everything up, the fact is that you have a responsibility to the public and you're not doing it. and you're not doing it for a political reason. And the fact is that if you let somebody like this get hurt and you let this get worse, you, in my opinion, are an accessory to it happening. You are. You're an accessory to it happening, and I think that you should be treated just the same as the people that did it. Because you, at the end of the day, you have the control to make this stop or to let it continue. And you can do that. You are the government. You can do anything you want. You're the fucking government. You let it happen. You are effectively allowing these people to be fucking terrorized for no reason. And it's even worse than this, because I bet there's plenty of people from Somalia that are fucking fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. But this entire racial identity that they've created by displacing the actual accountability, the problem isn't the fact that they're Somalian. The problem is the fact that they're committing crimes and they're defrauding the government. That's the problem. That's the big issue. And every single time that gets criticized and you want to, like, oh, well, you're racist for talking about this. The only reason why they're saying that is so they can deflect from the fact that they let it happen. They let it happen. They didn't give a fuck. They were like, oh, yeah, this is okay. And they let these people run wild, scam the fucking government, commit crimes, do all of this bullshit. And you know who really suffers? The other Somalians who are law-abiding citizens who do come here to try to at least have a better life. Yeah, they might be on fucking welfare, but, like, I'd rather have somebody on welfare than somebody defrauding government for $1 billion, sending it back to their home country to fund terrorist groups. This is outrageous, and it's radicalizing people. This fucking Karen, Bill Clinton retard is sitting here doing this, making it worse for everyone, making it worse for Americans, making it worse for Somalians, and I hope and pray that one day she will be making it worse for herself. I hate these fucking people. They are the worst. That's what I think. What a bunch of shit. What a bunch of bullshit. We decide behind our head. If you see something that's not right, not fair, and not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. Yeah, bro, like, this is it's so justifying. I think these people just talk like this for the optics, so take away her ability to be visible easy. Well, I think that really it's about whether you're letting people have crime run wild. Women should not be in positions of power. Tim Walz let this happen. He's not a woman. Like, yeah, he bald as fuck. He a bald-ass old man. Like, it's not about her being a woman. It's because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, moral obligation. Yeah, of course, right? Isn't that convenient for you? Nah, this shit makes me so fucking mad. I've been seeing this for a while, and it just seems to somehow just keep getting worse and worse and worse. So yeah, generally that's what I think, and I'm very frustrated about this, but I don't really see it getting any better until people look at it. But the problem is that a lot of people, you can never criticize this problem because they keep calling you racist. Here's the fact, and this is like, you need to take the power away from that word, the power away from this insult, because they're not calling you racist because you're doing something that's racist. They're calling you racist because you've identified the grift that they have. They're using this as a word to hopefully make you afraid because, oh my God, I don't want to be called this word. I guess I have to comply with them and do everything they tell me. That's what's happening, is that they don't actually think that you're racist. They're fucking racist. You had Ilhan Omar herself telling people that the other Somalians that disagreed with her had to go back to Somalia themselves. They're trying to send each other back. But the moment that you say it, suddenly you're the race. Get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about? It's such an absolute fucking manipulation. It's unbelievable. It's unreal that this is even happening. The Karenocracy needs to die. It's a lot more. Nobody cares about that anymore. Yeah. People use these words. They call you these names. They don't mean a fucking thing. None of it matters. If somebody's calling you that, it means you're probably right. Because that's the reason why they do it. They would debate you on the points and the merit of what you're discussing if they could, but they're not able to. So they have to resort to name calling because they've run out of ammunition on the other perspective. That's the reason why. Nobody can afford video games anymore. Yeah.
Guys, we're in some serious trouble. Gaming has been getting more expensive by the year, but right now it's about to get more expensive by the day. It already has. The same components that I have in my PC right now cost twice as much as they did just 2 years ago. RAM just rose by 200% in just the last 2 months.
Is RAM having what GPUs had like 4 years ago? Is that what's happening?
And I know some people are going to look at this and say, "Oh, well, this is a PC problem." No, all these different components, they're used in just about everything. Handheld,
I'm not as familiar with it.
else. Everything is going to get dragged up with all of this. What's happening right now is that AI is taking over the world. Who would have guessed?
Wow.
And these data centers are doing everything they can to be able to keep up with this AI gold rush because everybody wants a piece of that money.
Yeah.
And that's pushed these guys to raid the consumer market for products.
Yep.
Buying up everything off the shelves before we even have a chance to get our hands on it, causing
like
a lot of scarcity and making prices skyrocket with no end in sight.
Yep.
The part that really bothers me with all of this is just how obvious this play is. These guys are just getting way too sloppy for me. It's starting to aggravate me at this point. Like, if you're going to be a scammer, you got to try to hide it a little bit. But these guys don't even want to bother hiding it anymore.
No, they don't. People just eat this shit, man. They let it happen.
They're not trying to do anything to fix any of these issues. They're not scrambling to fix any of these supply issues. Instead, they're just they're milking it. They're keeping their production tight, they're raising the prices, and they're using AI as the best excuse possible for them to just continue to take advantage of regular people, to squeeze you harder than they ever have before. And they're doing it all with governments backing them. They're going to drag this out as long as they possibly can because every single month that they keep these prices higher, they're just going to continue to rake in record profits.
I think that the companies probably want to produce more of them. It's just that you can't make a supply chain change that fast. I mean, just realistically, like, you can't do that.
So today what I want to do...
And like, that's what happened with, like, the graphics cards, like, 4 or 5 years ago. Wrong? Like, look into it. The fact is that sometimes the markets can move so fast that these companies aren't able to adapt to them. Like, another good example is cars. Like, we've had the same issue with cars, especially with, like, different, I think it was semiconductors that were, or like some sort of chipset for cars where it was hard to even buy new cars. It's everything. It's control, brother. I think that realistically, it's probably both. I think that there is a degree of manufactured scarcity, but there's also a degree of just a realistic supply chain scaling logistics reality.
I want to talk about those insanely high prices and who's causing them. I want to talk about how I think the games industry is using this moment to be able to manipulate us.
I think it's Israel.
I think this entire thing might backfire on them in the most glorious of ways. This video is sponsored by Displate, and right now they are running their biggest sale of the year. From now until the end of their campaign...
I got a Displate. An ex-girlfriend sent me a Displate of Dark Souls 3, and I put it up, and I remember reading this thing. It said, don't put this on something that's an uneven surface. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck do I ever read? And so I just put it up against an uneven surface. And I remember about an hour later, I heard the loudest sound. The loudest sound. And it was right there. So it was like, it started banging down the fucking stairs. And like, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? The worst did happen. Yep.
And you can get up to 46...
I don't know why Israel would do that to me, man. How could this happen?
% off site-wide using my code LEGENDARY at checkout. 1 to 2 metal posters for 37% off, 3 to 4 for 43, 5 or more at 46. The full breakdown is going to be in the pinned comment and on the on-screen banners, but this is the best deal that you're going to see all year. Displate makes high-quality metal posters that mount magnetically, no tools, no frames, no wall damage. You just stick a magnet to the wall, snap the poster on. It only takes seconds, and these guys have over 1 million designs to be able to choose from. Games, anime, movies, fantasy, tech, you name it, and they're still running their officially licensed Path of Exile 2 collection. I definitely checked that out. I got a full set that was sent over to me, and every single one of these looks incredible in person.
You know, like, I don't know if I ever told this story, but S-Fan had some of the fan art that was made for us in Classic WoW. and it was like in the classic WoW beta, and he had them made in displays, and he was giving them out. And he had a smaller one made for my dad, and he gave it to me to give to my dad, and my dad had it at like his table, like the whole time. Like a small one. It was like me, S-Fans, and then McConnell, like like looming over us, like he's a fucking like Merlin or something like that, like a fucking wizard.
Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more personal, check out their custom displays. You can upload your own images, photos, arts, memes, whatever you want, maybe a family portrait, and turn it into a gift-worthy metal print just in time for the holidays. Use code Legendary at checkout, hit the link in the description,
Probably an
and take
AI
advantage
dog.
of this
A
year's
dog doesn't
biggest sale.
exist.
We have talked a lot about prices on this channel, and we are going to continue to talk about prices on this channel, because if there is one thing that I actually want to bring to this space, it is awareness. Most people feel helpless when they see these prices spike. They feel like they're being pushed out of their own hobby, like decisions are being made for them by people who don't even care about games in the first place. But the more that you guys understand what's happening, the easier it is to see the pattern. And guys, navigating what's coming next is going to get very hard, very fast. After the reveal of the Steam Machine, the first thing I saw was everyone arguing about the price. A lot of people were convinced it needed to be $500 or $700.
It's going to be $1,000. I think it's going to be $1,099. That is my expectation. And I have bet 5 giveaways that if it is beyond plus minus $100 of that, I will give away 5 Steam machines to the community. That's where I'm at.
At max, and that Valve should subsidize it to bring in more users. A whole different topic for another video, because Steam does not need a loss leader to get more people through the door. But I took the time to actually dig into the potential hardware costs and ended up chiming in on Twitter saying that Valve isn't posting the price because they're hoping that things change. The AI bubble has pushed RAM to obscene levels, almost 200% this year. People are saying it should be $500. That's the price of RAM alone.
$500. Like, who thought that was going to happen?
Now, this is a bit hyperbolic. Sure, I was using the highest-end hardware prices, but the more that I researched this trend, the darker the picture became, not just for Valve's console, but just for gaming as a whole. Right now, we're seeing hardware prices skyrocket across the board. All of it's tracing back to rapid data center expansion, a tidal wave of investment that's been poured into AI. According to Stanford, the U.S. has almost already spent $110 billion into private investments just in 2024. Global spending in generative AI is already up 600% between 2022.
Oh my God, look at that graph. Total investments of billions of dollars. Jesus.
In 2024, and in 2025 that number is estimated to hit $1.5 trillion. With that kind of money flying around, AI firms are expanding their data centers and buying up existing hardware at a pace that consumers simply cannot compete with. That demand alone is enough to be able to drive these prices through the roof, and that's before you even factor in scarcity. I feel like I'm losing my mind. How many people have been ignoring this? We've seen companies and even the media try to blame these price hikes on tariffs. They've been doing it all year. We've covered it on this channel, but this isn't about trade policy. This is an increase. It's driven by raw demand for components, and everyone is just letting these hardware companies and these software companies spin whatever narrative they want, whatever narrative benefits them, with almost no pushback at all. How has nobody questioned this?
I think that the reason why is that, I mean, number one, tariffs are a more convenient thing for the media to use because they can blame that on Trump. So if you look at, like, this is the same thing with, like, I think eggs are a great comparison here. The reason why the price of eggs was so high towards the end of Biden's presidency is because there was an avian flu that went around and killed all the birds. That's the main reason why. It's not because of Biden. It didn't go down because of Trump. This was a third-party thing that happened, and both parties were trying to blame and then assign blame or avoid blame for this thing. Biden gave the birds the flu on purpose, or maybe he did. I don't know. He could be a wizard. But the point that I'm making is that, yes, I think that this is the same thing that happened with tariffs, is that media will never look at, because media is either trying to portray Trump as great or Trump as awful. So because Trump is aligned with tariffs, you're not going to get any sort of realistic, any sort of like actual like information about this. You're not going to get a nuanced opinion on why the price of something is going up whenever you look at CNN or Fox News, because that's not what their goal is.
Hardware companies are making record money off of the AI boom. They're selling hardware by the truckloads to these data center giants. They're soaking up billions of dollars into investment, and they're still not expanding production for consumers. Instead, they're keeping their supply.
I think that the reason why they're not expanding production is that a lot of these tech companies, I think, are waiting for what they believe is coming, which is some sort of like large technological innovation that is like in the process of being discovered or arrived upon. And I think that's the reason why you haven't seen a massive scaling of production lines. That's the reason why you haven't seen a massive increase in supply chains or anything like that. Quantum computing, yeah. Like people don't know what is AGI, what is quantum computing going to be, and how will it function and change our lives on a day-to-day basis, and how you actually, fucking make something, and how valuable is it. Like a good example of this is cloud computing. Cloud computing, like we all know that in 50 years we're going to be using cloud computing for basically everything, right? Like this is obviously where things are going. But the question is, when does that happen? But it's inevitable that it's going to happen. But when it happens is the question. And I think these companies don't want to invest into something that they feel like is a short-term gain.
They're raising prices. They're pouring all that new money into high bandwidth memory for AI. They could ease the pressure on the consumer market if they wanted to, but why would they do that when scarcity is letting them charge more? So squeeze the normal people while feeding the AI expansion that's only going to just make all of this so much worse. Gizmodo only recently picked up on this issue with an article titled "We're So Screwed," written by Kyle Barr, where Barr wrote,
I don't like this article because it reminds me of the Starforge website. It does. This looks just like the Starforge website. Like, what the fuck?
We have been reporting about the spiking cost of RAM prices since October. Essentially, AI data centers have such a demand for memory that the prices of SSDs, DRAM, and HDDs are all ballooning in price. This is most keenly felt in the discrete PC RAM market. Corsair, one of the most popular brands for fast gaming-ready RAM sticks, told Gizmodo over email, our DRAM prices have increased in response to the severe supply shortage we're seeing across the industry. And it just keeps getting worse. A pack of 64GB DDR5 RAM from memory brand Crucial spiked from $150 to more than $400 in just 2 months.
Wow. That's insane. I didn't know it was that big.
By Amazon price pack.
I mean, I haven't bought anything like a new computer thing at all. Like, is this true? I'm assuming this is true, right?
Site Camel. Other low-end RAM sticks may see less of a bump, but users will inevitably find that the more RAM they want, the more it's going to cost. 4 sticks of 16GB DDR5 RAM from Corsair now sells for an astronomical $688.
Because, like, before, this is the way it always used to be. It was GPU, CPU, RAM, and then maybe motherboard and power supply underneath of that, in terms of like cost for a computer. Holy shit!
The same sticks in white demand $948, and they're not even the priciest RAM available. Guys, I want you to know that this is nothing like the crypto boom that we saw just a few years ago, where GPU prices were driven by a hype cycle that eventually died. AI is far more of a tangible technology. It is going to keep expanding.
Yeah, it's totally different than crypto.
It's going to keep improving, and it's going to keep getting massive support from governments and corporations worldwide. Yes, there is a bubble forming, something similar to the .com era, where only a few players are actually going to end up owning the market.
That's probably true.
Even when that burst happens, the winners are just going to buy up the losers' data centers, and they're just going to continue to grow. Even if
that's actually a really good point that he's bringing up, is that like whenever there is a consolidation of companies and consolidation of businesses, like what happened after the .com boost or boom, is that you're probably not going to have a reduction in data centers. You're not going to have a reduction in like the amount of resources. There's just going to be a reduction of names, the different names on those resources. What about monopoly laws? Well, I don't know, man. Why don't you ask Apple?
Expansion slows, that's still not going to fix anything for us. Keep in mind, after the crypto crash, GPU prices never really went back to normal, so hardware prices...
They went down. But he's right that they didn't go back to normal. This is one of the nastiest fucking things that companies do, and they did this with, like, McDonald's did this, is that, like, they took the COVID pricing and then they made that the new normal.
Might come down eventually, sure, but they're never going to go back to what we used to pay.
Yeah.
And this is not something that's just going to be
Yeah,
limited.
they go up 100% and then they go down, you know, like, let's just assume that all the numbers are the same, like 85%. So you're still paying theoretically 15% more.
To memory or GPUs, it's going to stretch across every piece of computer hardware, gaming PCs, handhelds, consoles, phones, everything. It makes getting into the hobby, upgrading your setup, or even just replacing something that breaks insanely expensive for everyday people. And I think that's exactly what these companies want right now. They want to squeeze customers harder than they ever have while raking in all of this investment and government backing, all to feed these business-to-business sales while the rest of us are going to deal with the fallout. At this rate, the hardware market is going to become completely inaccessible for most people.
I think this is true in the immediate sense. I feel like if it doesn't change in like 2 years, you are going to say you're either going to have new players come into the space that offer something that's better, or you're going to see a technology change where it's more accessible. Like, just realistically, like, you can't leave a unanswered market for too long, because if you do, you're going to have other people come in and answer it for you.
People talk about how the Steam machine needed to be $500.
So guys, all you have to do is just not play video games for 2 years. Okay, that's it.
For maybe $700 at most, and these guys do not know how fast these prices are moving right now. The costs have ballooned so much that I could easily see every single major console that's coming in the next couple of years costing over $1,000.
Yep, there it is.
Now, I know some people are going to say, well, that's not going to work. Nobody's going to buy hardware at the...
I think that they will. I think that people don't understand how big of a wealth gap and how big of an equality gap we have in the country. The top 10% of income in America is like $150,000 a year or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount of money. People think that it's still like 2008. No, like, it's like everybody else. It's kind of like, let's say you're playing an MMO, and like 30% of the population bought the expansion to Burning Crusade, and you're sitting there and you're still in Classic. Well, what do you mean you guys have armor penetration? What? You can get that? Oh, wow!
These prices, and honestly, I think that's exactly what some of these companies are counting on. Nearly every major publisher in the gaming industry has gone all in on AI. EA just announced their partnership with Stability AI. Ubisoft has come back from their little media silence with some new AI deals and a push for AI teammates to replace making acts.
It says AI teammates will make gaming more engaging and accessible. And again, I love Dragon's Dogma. This idea isn't bad. The implementation of it is sometimes bad.
Friends, which is incredibly bleak, but the clearest example here is Microsoft.
I know somebody who she talks to ChatGPT on a regular basis. Look at that shit. Who does this?
They have poured billions of dollars into OpenAI and Anthropic, and they've committed another $80 billion to AI-enabled data centers. They are directly feeding into the same expansion that is driving hardware costs through the roof. The same expansion that they blamed on tariffs. It is a mutually beneficial relationship for them, not for us. Guys, this is the oldest trick in the corporate playbook.
Well, this is the same reason companies are like, oh yeah, things are so hard with COVID, so we have to make things more expensive. Okay, well, COVID's over. Are you going to make them less expensive? Oh man, things are so hard with tariffs. We're going to have to keep things being so expensive.
A problem and then sell the solution. If people can't afford gaming hardware anymore, well, that becomes the perfect opening to be able to push cloud gaming, where you don't need to have a console or a PC, just a screen and a subscription. I talked about this in my video. This is the last warning, where I argued that Microsoft was pushing prices higher on purpose to be able to funnel players into cloud services where they already have been testing ads inside of their games.
Absolutely. You will own nothing, and you will be fucking furious about it. You're fucking out of your mind.
You're crazy to think that. You're crazy to think that this is all connected.
Yeah.
Guys, I do not think you understand how big the gaming industry actually is.
It's
okay?
larger than the movie. Oh, he's probably going to say this.
The U.S. entertainment sector is the largest in the world, and gaming alone is 3 times. It makes 3 times as much as film and music combined. It's still young, it's still easy to manipulate, and there is a lot of money on the table.
We haven't even gotten to hyper-realistic AI cat girls. That's the big one. And we're not even there yet.
Anybody that can wedge themselves in that ecosystem, especially if they can figure out how to force ads into whatever they want, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
So when I see this, I do not see a bunch of different trends happening all over the place.
You're going to get ads on your car whenever we're old. Not even old. Whenever we're 50, we're going to be having ads inside of our car.
One big pattern. And I'm not saying that, oh, it's gaming that's helping to push this entire AI situation. No, it just so happens that, well, it's just falling in the perfect spot for these companies to be able to take advantage of it. And of course, they're going to be taking advantage of it. That's exactly what they're doing right now. It's where coincidence and opportunity have collided for these guys. And it just so happens that your money, your hobby, and your enjoyment are caught in the middle of it. Ironically, this is happening at the worst possible time for us because the console wars are effectively dead. Exclusivity is largely gone at this point outside
Thank God.
of Nintendo.
Yeah,
and
fucking Nintendo.
These guys don't care about pushing their games to be able to make profit. They're trying to profit off of their services and off of their hardware now.
That's actually a really good point, too. I don't know if they're going to profit after the hardware. I'm not sure if I'd agree with that. But I think that the using services and service fees, that is going to be the new way that companies make money. And I think that the best use case of that and like the, I guess like the frame of reference they use is Valve and how much money they've made with exchange fees, transaction fees with CSGO. So you have all these people that are able to make tons of money on like these, fractional microtransaction costs that just kind of, it's like, like how do ants eat something that's really big? Well, they eat it one little bit at a time, right? But eventually, it's gone. And that's what they do.
All the stars are aligning in the wrong way for us at this moment. There is so much money hatting going on in AI right now. It's just absolutely crazy. Every single one of these companies has their hand in each other's pockets. If you see where some of this money goes, you see one company gives it to another, that company gives it to another, and then it goes straight back to the source. They're just circling all.
It doesn't like, it's like Meta or like I have a friend who's like an engineer at Meta who guys put together and we were talking about this. It's like basically a human centipede. It is. And it's like, oh, numbers going up, numbers going up, numbers going up. Yeah, well, they're paying each other.
All this wealth while squeezing us as hard as they possibly can.
Enron? No, he's even telling me, he's like, yeah, they came out and they said they're not Enron. And it's like, okay.
And trying to take as much money off of us as they possibly can and force us into poverty is what it feels like. Probably actually exactly.
That's working. That's working very well.
I mean, NVIDIA and Microsoft are the biggest perpetrators here. And both of these guys have cloud gaming services. They have no problem with hardware prices spiking.
Because it all leads into their business model. It fulfills their business model and it accelerates their business model for hardware prices to be basically unapproachable.
Not being able to get into higher end hardware. That sounds great to these guys.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to expand. They're going to continue to invest. And they're doing that off of the back of investments that they're getting from private and public investors and also from the government.
Yeah, exactly. We're paying them to price us out of our own hobbies. We're paying them so they can scrape our data, sell it back to us in a censored way that reinforces their own fucking control. And we're supposed to be happy.
It's insane. These guys effectively have
I'm done doing it. No, you're
over
not.
the hardware industry.
No, you're not.
Because, well, they can just order them out of stock.
It's only
right now, this is limited to higher-end hardware. It's going to trickle down to lower-end hardware. I've seen some people talk about, well, I'll just buy GDR4. It's cheaper. You're not the only one thinking that.
Oh, wow. Instead of 5, I'm going to get 4. Oh, my God. This guy's so smart.
And because this scarcity is largely inauthentic and inorganic, that is being controlled, well, that means that they're just going to affect those markets regardless. And the same thing goes for console markets as well. They can use the exact same excuse. No, because of data center expansion. Sorry, the GPUs or the RAM or whatever else is too expensive for this console. It's going to have to be more expensive. They're going to push it there too. And the reason why is because these guys do not need hardware to be able to make money off of it. It's not necessary. They can farm.
And that's a good thing too, by the way. It's a good thing that, I mean, cloud gaming is going to make technology more accessible to everybody. It will be an improvement, and it will be better for everybody. But the problem is that the approach to getting there is very unpleasant and painful. That's it.
The people who can afford it, and then they can push those who can't into subscription services and cloud services where they can feed you ads or you pay a monthly sub.
For what costs? Well, I think that, again, like, you guys, this is really important to keep in mind, right? Is that for a lot of us here, we are 1%. We are 1% in regards to a lot of you guys make a lot of money. You know, I generally have an older audience. This is a tech and computer, you know, video game based channel. So you have a lot of people that are like involved in, you know, that kind of stuff. A lot of people make money, right? And I, you know, who? A lot of people. Like every time if I go to an event, the people that own the business probably fucking know me. And so that's it. I have a digital empire. There you go. And so I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying that I have a very high ratio of those people. So what my point is that obviously for us, the ability to invest in, and also like a lot of you guys, like we play video games a lot, right? Let's say, and we're older. So you have more resources generally. This is generally. I'm saying generally. Not everybody, generally, okay? Relax. So because of that, you might still want to be an enthusiast. You might still want to invest in the highest hardware and do all this stuff yourself. But what I'm saying is that for an average person, for a lower income person, that person will be able to access higher quality technology at a lower cost with cloud gaming in probably, I would say, 10 years. And I think less than that.
Doesn't that just sound lovely? Now, I'm sure it sounds great to these guys. I'm sure they're all in on this idea. And if I was in one of those rooms, it would probably sound pretty good to me. But this entire thing is incredibly risky for them to do. Not because anybody's actually going to come in and try to interrupt it. That's not going to happen, at least not for a while. But they're under the assumption...
Well, they're not going to be able to, because all of the companies inside of the ecosystem are already kind of inside the same game. And a lot of companies also, these big companies push for regulations that pull the ladder up and make getting into a market very hard to do. So it's not like somebody can just start going in and selling RAM, let's say, for example, because there's probably like 7,000 regulations for it that are created by these big companies in order for them to maintain their monopoly.
That customers are going to continue to chase them wherever they go. We're chasing the highest end hardware, the highest end games, but that's not necessarily what's been happening. See, the question they need to be asking themselves is what happens when players go in a different direction entirely? Because that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Not to interrupt the flow of this video, but man, it really sucks that we even have to be talking about any of this. We should be celebrating what this industry is capable of, especially with the Game Awards right around the corner. I've been eyeing a second playthrough of Expedition 33, and every time I think about that game, how confidently it ignored all of the noise, how it cuts through everything, all of this industry's nonsense. It reminds me of how things could be, how things should be, and it also reminds me of how disgusting these executives are who want to drag this hobby into the mud for profit. I genuinely believe that these major hardware and software companies think raising the price floor is going to guarantee them victory. If people can't afford new hardware, they're just going to default to cloud or whatever subscription.
They will. I think that's what will happen. I do. I think actually that is what will happen. Like, I know people say like, oh, I won't do that. I think that's what will happen.
service pipeline that they want to
Yeah.
shove us
think it'll
into.
work.
And once players are trapped in those ecosystems, well, then these companies have full control. They can raise
Yeah.
the prices, they can tier their access, they can lock features behind a monthly fee, they can do what.
they're gonna Netflix you, right? They're gonna get you in Netflix in 2008. Oh my God, everybody had it, right? Like we all had Netflix back then, or our parents had it. And then slowly over time, the enshittification of the product happens. And I think that's where things are going to go with something like cloud gaming. I think at the beginning it's going to be great, and then I think that you're going to have artificial, like let's say latency increases, right? Like if you want a fiber optic connection or like a higher, like a precision, like machine or connection, you're going to have to pay more money. And then if you want certain games, you're going to have to pay more money. And then suddenly you're getting piecemealed and dissected until you're paying like $50 a month, right? And this is what happened with Game Pass, is that Microsoft invested a tremendous amount of money into making Game Pass a really great deal and a tremendous value. It was a great deal and a tremendous value. I think it was. I've had Game Pass. I think it's amazing. But here's what happens, is that after you establish that market, after you control the market, now you can raise the price and you don't have as many competitors in the space that are really going to, like, you're going to lose business. You can just do that. And that's what happens.
Whatever they want. They can even slide ads in with almost no friction. That is the future that these AAA publishers want.
Yep.
Now, the problem for them is that I don't think this plan is actually going to work in the real world. It's built on the assumption that everybody needs the highest end experience, that we are all desperate for cutting edge AAA titles and will follow the industry wherever it tries to push us. But that ignores the biggest risk in their entire strategy, one that is already happening right now. What if people don't buy in? What if players stop chasing high end entirely? What if they split into a different direction? A shift that ends up starving AAA while fueling the rise of studios who can thrive without expensive hardware.
I do.
I'm going to give you guys two business.
I do think this will happen. Also, as well, is that, and you're already seeing this happen, where smaller indie studios are able to bring out video games at a infinitely lower price point. Well, not infinitely lower, but like $10 versus $70 price point. And I think they've been able to capture a huge market of people.
It's demand destruction and market bifurcation. Demand destruction is when prices stay so high for so long that people just stop buying a product altogether. Market bifurcation is when a market splits into two groups that behave completely differently. The haves and have-nots in this case, if you will. And we're seeing both of these happen in the gaming industry right now, even if the shift has been relatively slow. Just take a look at Steam's latest hardware survey. NVIDIA's brand new 50 series GPUs, they're not even in the top 10. They're not even in the top 15. The 5070 sits at number 16. The 5060 is 22nd. And all their other high-end cards, they might as well not even exist at all. The top 5 are dominated by lower-end 30 and 40 series cards.
Well, it makes perfect sense. These higher-end cards are really expensive. They are. They're really expensive. Like, an average person doesn't have $1,000 to spend on a graphics card. Really, that's insane.
Now you do the same for me.
GTX 1650.
Look at this. And a 3060. I think, you can run a lot of things with a 3060. Especially with DLSS. I know people don't like it, but I think people probably like DLSS more than spending $2,000, especially whenever they don't have $2,000.
6-year-old GPU is still holding strong.
it is.
People are not upgrading, and when they do, they're choosing the cheapest, most sensible option they can, either because of the cost or because they don't see any reason to chase higher-end hardware anymore. I think that this industry has completely misread this. I think that they're looking at these numbers and assuming that people want the highest end hardware but simply can't afford it. But that doesn't really track with reality.
Well, I think it is true that people can't afford it. But the thing is that affordability is always a spectrum. The reality is that for a 3060 is going to be able to run 90% of games, right? 95% of games. And so are you really going to make a very large purchasing decision for being able to play a handful of video games with a different water texture? There's a huge diminishing returns there. Huge. And for maybe a guy that's a computer enthusiast or something like that, yeah, they're going to do that. But for most other people, they're not. 3060 can run Megabonk at 8K. I believe that. I do. I believe that. I want to say that I did rendering for my PC, my streaming PC. That's the one of those. I'm going to fuck the computer graveyard over there. But the blue one, the one I had, it had a 2080 Ti. And I had that computer from like 2020 or 2021 up until like 3 weeks ago. Not a single problem.
Switch 2 broke.
No, it was blue. That way the temperature of the computer would stay low. You can get a red computer, and that one goes really fast, but it can overheat because it's red. Or you can get a blue computer, and that one doesn't go as fast, but it doesn't overheat.
Console sales records by selling over 2.4 million units in only 3 months. And nobody believes that that's cutting-edge hardware. People bought it because they wanted the games, not the specs.
How it is.
And beyond that, these companies are operating under the idea that players want to upgrade just to be able to play the latest AAA releases. But why would anybody want to do that anymore? Why would we want to spend thousands of dollars on a new rig or a console when these games come out broken day one? Borderlands 4 is still a performance nightmare with the developers issuing apology after apology. Monster Hunter...
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for it to be bad. Expedition 33 was made with Unreal 5. Monster Hunter was total garbage. The original Dragon's Dogma wasn't like this. You have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like, you know what I wish Jeff Keighley would do? I wish that he would make a category for video games for optimization or making a game accessible for like lower end systems. I feel like it would be kind of like more of a tech award, but I think that companies like, Warhorse, right, that made Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I really think they deserve a tremendous amount of acknowledgement for that. And you have now also Where Winds Meet. There's another one too. And, maybe for the Shame Awards, we'll have to do the opposite, right? Like, is the winner going to be, geez, guys, is this going to be Borderlands 4 or Monster Hunter Wilds?
Destiny awaits.
Who's the biggest loser here?
Wilds tanked all of its momentum and its reputation because it couldn't run properly either.
Avowed?
These are two of the biggest AAA releases this
too.
year, and both of them are defined by the same problems. There has been a sharp decline in sales across the board for AAA because people just aren't impressed anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the part that these companies don't really seem to understand,
Well,
is that
the issue
when
also,
you're
the issue also is like a lot of these AAA games, they are making graphical enhancements, but the enhancements are so granular that, I mean, really, people can't really hardly see them. I mean, you're having, and I think that also graphical fidelity is overrated. Stylistic lighting is underrated. Two great games that emphasize this are three, actually. Wuthering Waves, that's the weakest example. My strongest example is Elden Ring. If you actually look at Godfrey, you look at their character models, they look like shit. They look like absolute garbage. Like, the actual fidelity pixel count for a lot of the things in Elden Ring are very mediocre. But because of the lighting, colors, and shading in the game, it looks incredible. And the other one that's very new, that some people said in chat, Where Winds Meet. Incredible, amazing game. Awesome graphics, but the fidelity is very low. But it's made up for because of the lighting, the shading, and the style of the game.
Games don't justify the hardware. The hardware
Valheim?
stops selling.
Sure. Yeah,
when the
Valheim
hardware
too.
stops selling, the high-end market freezes, and AAA is going to be the first thing to suffocate.
Bring back style. Yeah.
What I think is happening right now, and it's only going to get worse for the AAA industry, is that with these rising hardware prices, especially if they bleed into the next generation of consoles, it's going to effectively put a stop to high-end gaming entirely. They are building a price wall that people cannot climb, and in doing so, they're going to...
I think that you're always going to have high-end gaming be popular, but I do think that the gaming, like high-end PC gaming, it is probably on a timer.
Destroy their own demand. Players do not trust AAA enough to be able to justify a $70.
I think it's like a 15-year, 20-year timer, but it's still a timer.
Or game, let alone a $1,000 console or a $4,000 PC upgrade. And if they're not buying the hardware or the games, well, why would we be interested in the services that are tied to them? What is the point of cloud gaming or subscriptions if the games on those services aren't worth our time? all that I think is actually going to happen is that this market is going to split. They're going to accidentally fuel the rise of AAA even further, which honestly is this industry in its purest form. Smaller teams, lower budgets, higher creativity, more original ideas, and no need to chase higher-end hardware. These games are targeting mid-range or even older systems by design. And when you look at what people are actually playing this year, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Escape from Duck-Off, Mega Bonk, Ball
I bet you can probably run, like, I bet a 2080 Ti could run Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at approaching 60 FPS.
4, 3, 2,
Easily?
1.
I'm guessing. Yeah, there you go. That's insane. That's ridiculous.
And even Stellar Blade and Arc Raiders don't need a 5090 to run well.
Arc
People
Raiders isn't
can get
super
everything
in-depth.
they want without buying any
It's
of this
just very
high-end
good.
hardware at all. The funny thing is, when you zoom out on all this, there really is only two futures that are ahead of us right now. One is the one that the corporations want, and the one is the one, well, players are actually moving towards right now. The corporate one is
I
pretty...
actually do think that there will be a growing demand for cloud gaming. I do think so, and I think that cloud gaming for a casual player will actually be a solution that has a large, sizable audience, and I think that that audience over time will eclipse PC and also console gaming. I think that it will probably always be mobile gaming that will be the biggest one because everybody has a phone and it's a common denominator. But after that, you're probably going to have cloud gaming be the most popular of the three because of its accessibility and the lower price point that it's going to have.
Obvious expensive hardware that nobody can buy. Cloud gaming is the affordable alternative. Subscriptions stacked on top of subscriptions. Ads baked straight into the experience. A world where every part of gaming is metered, tracked, monetized, and controlled.
Oh boy.
That is the endpoint that these guys have been building.
Yeah, Hardware Labs, this is about to say NVIDIA.
For years. Because in that
It's gonna say
future,
display.
they own everything, we own nothing. But there's been another future that's been forming underneath their feet this entire time. And it's one that these guys just haven't planned for. It's a future built by AA studios and mid-tier teams that have been making incredible games that run on any hardware. Hardware that people actually own. A future where the most popular game doesn't require a $4,000 rig or a $1,000 console.
What?
A future where creativity outperforms fidelity, where studios that are willing to take a risk end up defining the industry more than the one.
Creativity has always outperformed fidelity, by the way. You want to know the best example of that? Minecraft.
That are burning $500
People just
million
didn't realize
on
it.
another forgettable game.
Yep.
And I really think that this entire thing should terrify these AAA publishers. They should not be trying to lead into it. If these players stop upgrading, if they stop buying into high end, then AAA is the one that becomes an endangered species.
That's true.
The budget stop.
That's actually a very good point. Is that, yeah, AAA gaming and its necessity, it does rely on continually increasing the quality of products, or the quality of the systems.
Sense the audiences shrink, and the only people that are going to be left thriving are the teams that never needed cutting-edge hardware to begin with. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that decide where this industry goes. And if the industry starts building a future that we don't want, well, we simply just walk away.
Yep.
I have a strong feeling that outside of Grand Theft Auto 6, if it actually releases, next year is probably going to play out just the same as this year. There's just not going to be a lot of...
I think he's right. I think we're going to have a number of dark horse, incredibly very good, indie games, and I think that those indie games will keep gaming going, but it doesn't look like there's any AAA game that's coming out next year, except for, like, maybe a handful, that are, like, super amazing.
Winners in AAA. I mean, more than half of the nominees for Game of the Year this year were all independent or indie studios. And that's not just, oh, these are just for the awards. No, these are also some of the most beloved games by players and also some of the highest selling games that we've seen all year. And that's going to leave these guys with not a lot of other options. I know some people are probably going to say, oh, well, then they'll just start making AA games themselves. They'll just stuff these services with AA and they'll stuff them with indie games, but that really doesn't make a lot of sense.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah, of course not. The reason why they're AA is because the studios don't have the resources to make a AAA game. Like, that's the reason.
What is the point of your subscription service or your cloud service if, one, I have the hardware, so I can play those games regardless anyway, and two, those games are cheap to begin with.
Yeah.
Why would I want to pay $30 a month plus to be able to play games that I could buy for $15 to
it's like $5 exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, Game Pass, I know right now is about $30. I can guarantee you it's probably going to climb to $35 or even $45 next year. Who knows how that's going to go. And that's more than most people spend on video games in a month. It just doesn't make any sense. Nobody needs it. I don't need it. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's very,
This
very
is
high.
an incredibly
and I
big-
think also the other thing too is that like you're going after an audience that if the price point is too high doesn't exist. Because the people that have a lot of free time probably don't have a lot of disposable income, and the people that have a lot of disposable income probably don't have a lot of free time. So the ubiquitous nature of, oh my god, you can play 150 games, these are people who struggle to finish one game. So, like, where is your, like, what is your actual market? I don't know.
Purest path for the games industry to
That's a
follow
problem with
right now.
subscriptions.
And it's also something that they
Yeah.
really should be supported. I just don't see a lot of movement in hardware. And helping to push those prices even higher, you're going to starve yourself. Because I just don't see a lot of people that are chasing some of these new releases. Sure, we've seen some movement, we've seen some buzz. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this. With a lot of these AAA games, the minute that they come out, the hype around them dies like that. You just stop here.
When was the last AAA game? I guess like Battlefield 6 did really well. Besides that, when was the last AAA game that came out that was like a success? I mean, Ghost of Yotai was decent. Yeah. Arc Raiders? Would you say Arc Raiders is a AAA game? I wouldn't. I didn't classify it as that personally. Wukong? I feel like, yeah, but it's a Chinese studio. It's a different grading. It's a different grading mechanism.
Hearing about them entirely. Battlefield 6, I think, is probably
Yes.
the only one that I could point to this year that has actually kind of survived for the most part. But Monster Hunter Wilds, that game just absolutely tanked after its first month. They haven't been able to sell. I don't even know if they even sold another million copies past the first 10 that they sold in that 1 month. That is crazy.
I mean, the game Monster Hunter, it just has so many problems, right? I mean, we could get into it, but yeah.
That is not good, man. That is not good. And when we're starting to see equipment dive off a cliff like this, you're going to have to come down to meet those players. And if you're not willing to do that, you're in a lot of trouble. I can tell you that right
Well,
now. I'm
you're
curious.
not going to be able to make your money back because your activatable market, your market is not large enough in order for you to make your money back. It's very simple. Like, I remember I learned this. It sounds stupid, but like I learned this and I was making gauntlets in Burning Crusade as a blacksmith. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, how many people really want this? How many people are there really that can buy these? And like the amount of money that I'm investing into this, am I really going to, if you take this fixed cost and you amortize this out of, or like spread it over, the amount of different items that you would need to sell in order to make the money back, you're never actually going to make the money back out of this. And like eventually I think that they're going to hit that same point too, is that the activatable market will be so low that you can't even, there's not even a business model that's a winning business model. It just doesn't work.
To know what hardware you guys use. I want to know what people are actually using. Because I can see a Steam survey, and I talk to people in our community Discord. If you guys don't engage in our community Discord, you should. It's absolutely fantastic people, but most people there are on lower end hardware. A lot of people that I know outside of myself, the only reason why I have a rig as great as I have or as expensive as I have is because of all the work I do with editing and recording and all that stuff. Outside of that, I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't get it. Are you kidding me?
True.
I'd be playing on
Very
something
true.
else entirely. I'd probably still be playing on the 2080 or 3080 that I have behind me. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where all this stuff goes. The one thing that I find really interesting about this, if you're a AAA publisher or if you're just a bigger publisher in the games industry at all, I would be really interested to see how they feel about a company like Microsoft having the influence that they have right now. Because they're making the industry incredibly uncomfortable
There's
for a
nothing they
lot
can
of
do.
these other companies.
Yeah.
Just as a byproduct of what they're doing on their AI side. All the investments that they're making, all the money that they're putting into...
I mean, yeah, of course they're going to focus on AI because, like, making video games, like, the problem is, like, the ceiling for AI right now is theoretically infinite, but the ceiling for selling video games is finite. And I think that they've been at that ceiling for a while. So obviously they're going to go into something else.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this
all
one.
of these different data centers and things like that, the increasing of prices of hardware specifically, pretty much across the board, that becomes a threat for a lot of these other companies. So I'm wondering what their perspective on this is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Kick, follow me on Twitter. And make sure you guys come back later this week. I think I have like 2 more videos that I have to do this week. This one just kind of popped out of nowhere, and I was like, I gotta talk about this. But anyway, stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I feel like this is going to be a big one, and I think it's going to continue getting worse over time too.
Guys,
for pricing until you have affordable cloud gaming, I think pricing is just going to get harder and harder. I don't think that you're going to see RAM prices or any of that go down anytime soon, because again, I don't really see these companies trying to change. Trying to change anything else, right? They're probably just not going to do that just because of something very short. So yeah, Amazon probably has the same logic chasing AI, which is why they're letting Twitch run wild. I think that's probably true. I do. I think it's probably true. And they don't really care. And I think that really this is the holy grail for all of these tech companies, is to approach AI and to have a foothold in the AI ecosystem. And if they're able to do that, then they're going to be having a great time. They're going to be having an amazing time, a great time, and they're going to be fucking trillionaires. But if they don't do that, then they could go the way of Yahoo, right? Do you want to be Yahoo? No, you don't. So I think that's really the big reason why. And money printers eventually? Yeah, I guess so. And yeah, anyway, give the video a sub, give Legendary Drops a like. This is a really good video, and I think he's talking about this. Again, I think that there are a lot of just logistical and structural reasons why this is happening. And I think realistically, like an overnight price increase, I mean, how much RAM can you realistically make, right? Because you have a whole supply chain that has to change because of this thing. It's hard to do that, really. Have you checked your Twitch recap? No, I haven't. The first time, I felt like actually something outside of gaming with some of these discussions. Yeah, no, I thought this was a really good video, man. And again, I think it's one of these topics that the more that, like, I mean, because gaming and technology are the same thing, right? I mean, they are. And so the more that you talk about gaming, and especially now that, like we already hit this happen with crypto, for example, is that, you have a lot of gaming stuff that's now being encroached on by crypto in the past, and now it's AI. I think that, yeah, it's like you have to understand this stuff, and if you don't, you're going to have a really bad time. That's really it. It's unavoidable, like Yahoo? Yeah, I guess so.
How much?
Yo, what's up? We don't do no fucking camera.
Hey.
Fucking push him. He's out black, you shit, nigga. Get the fuck.
You're black?
Yeah, mother.
On September 7th, while filming a video showing the illegal counterfeiting markets by illegal migrants in New York City on Canal Street, I attempted to ask how much they were selling a substance for on the street, and after being cussed out and my cameraman punched, we left the block and never came back. Well, it turns out this group of migrants were wanted by ICE and were targeted in a raid that erupted in the streets of New York City, and after the next day, the streets were completely clean of illegal activity, and I thought the chaos was over. However, I came back to New York City a few weeks later, and while walking through the area, the migrants noticed me, and all hell broke out.
Scammers just recognized me.
So you can't be illegally vending though, all right? It's not.
I don't sell. You're saying you don't sell? Are you kidding me? Look at all your friends out here. They're all sellers.
Who tell you do not sell?
Do you know?
He's lying. He's lying.
I ain't lying. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Look at all those bags and stuff. Look at all those bags. Look. You're the scammer. Why are you telling me to get that side of here? You got your streets?
Yeah, he's America, man. We all America. You're
okay.
Look at this. You're a racist.
How am I racist?
You are racist. Why you a racist, bro?
How am I racist?
No, he's not a racist. You guys just doing illegally vending. He's not a racist. What is wrong is wrong. What is right is right.
And while the scammers and I were going back and forth, a local who lives in the area came
Look,
by.
now she's telling me thank you. Thank you. God bless you, man. We don't like scammers, do
No,
we?
I live in this neighborhood. I'm sick of these guys. They make the neighborhood garbage. They sell drugs. They sell illegal merchandise. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, man. chaos here on Canal Street. The scammers don't even respect the police.
And then all the scammers got mad at me for recording.
What? If you're gonna record me, I can record you. He was recording me.
But what he's doing is not okay. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're implying.
Then don't get mad at me.
Huh?
Then don't get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you because you come here with a piece of like.
Selling counterfeit goods? Is that a real group? That's not real. Counterfeit.
So what?
Counterfeit goods.
Okay, so what? Just like you guys can record us, he can record you guys. Like we're recording.
Look at, you're getting mad at me recording. Look at all these cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Show your face. See how they treat the police? They don't even care about NYPD here on these streets. Meanwhile, they're getting mad at me. I was literally walking back to where I'm going for tonight, and I had to walk through Canal Street, and that happened. Because they saw the video where obviously 9 of their buddies got deported. How are you? See, now that he recognized me, this is a dangerous street for me to be walking on here on Canal Street. That is no longer their block. I'm gonna take it down. You heard it here first.
And as I prepare to go back to Canal Street and take back the street, I want to show you the big contrast between people that support the law and other people whose empathy does not allow them to support the law, just like this lady here.
My husband showed me a clip of that kid Nick Shirley going around Canal Street antagonizing the men who are trying to just sell us some shit there. Wow. And you guys think I need to get a life? What a fucking loser.
Shut up! And as people want to turn a blind eye to this illegal activity and act like it's inhumane to have law and order on the streets, I wanted to see how these people would treat a woman if they saw her on her phone on Canal Street. So I sent out my mom onto Canal and said, act like you're on a FaceTime call and see what happens.
No camera. What am I filming? I just want to buy some presents for my daughters. I don't know which one to get. There's too much stuff here.
I will leave.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Don't go there.
This web of life and destiny.
You're gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble?
And after having proof that it was not safe for a woman to be walking on Canal Street with the camera, I headed there myself to confront the scammers and to see what they would do if they saw me. But really quick,
I've never done this before, but we're gonna do a sponsor right now. And the sponsor of this video is Opus Clip. Opus is more than just an AI clipper. They're actually the fastest AI growth tool for creators and businesses. Over 10 million creators and businesses have started using them, and they've helped gain over 60 billion views. In fact, I actually just had a buddy start using Opus Clip. He has just around 100 followers, and he's already had a video get above 30,000 views. That's how good Opus Clip is. And recently, Opus just came out with their AI Editor 3.0 that comes with smarter auto framing, better virality scoring, and new captions. And my favorite thing about Opus is how easy to make it to reformat your content for all different platforms, whether it's TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, you can use Opus Clip. And right now, for you guys watching, they're gonna hook you guys up with a sweet deal. You'll get 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. All you have to do is use code Nick Shirley and go to the pinned comment down below or the link in the description. I promise you guys, Opus is a game changer. And now let's get into the streets of Canal. Did you guys just buy some goods? What did you guys get today? Or is this a seller right here? Oh, Louis Vuitton. There's a dealer right there. There's one of the Asian dealers. So you have the Asian dealers right here. They have all of the stuff right here. They have the whole entire catalog right here. What are you gonna buy today? No yet. What's your favorite thing to buy here from Canal Street?
I haven't been here in about...
Whoa, watch that. We're going to do aggression here.
Don't look at somebody, man.
What's that?
How you doing? What's wrong with the camera?
Why the camera not for me, man?
What's wrong with the camera?
We got a camera to film whatever we want.
All right, we've made it now to Canal Street. We already got the people out with. Now we got the Asians pissed off, and then right here you have.
What's that?
The African sellers as well. What's wrong? What's wrong?
You're not going to yell us off this block. We're residents here. We are openly filming this. No, we're filming. We're filming. This is open. This is
all right. We have now made it here to Canal Street. Sweeney, you're local here. Is this normal?
This is local public property. You are entitled to film anywhere on public property. No one has a privacy right over anything.
What do you guys think about Canal Street and the scammers and now the counterfeit selling that's at rampant levels right now?
Yeah, it's a lot more than there used to be here, so it's a good amount.
Now we just got pushed out by one of the counterfeit sellers. Thank you, sir.
Look at that, resident, just like that, just getting pushed out by somebody. Aggressively pushed and shoved with his elbow.
Now this is the main Canal Street. We're just on the corner of Canal and Lafayette.
Look it up.
And look, they're all running right now. We ourselves, My Presence, has cleared this whole entire block right now. We got all these guys. I'm just walking through here, and all these guys are clearing out because of My Presence of the camera. Why do you think just My Presence alone with the camera is scaring these guys off right now?
If they're not breaking the law and there is no criminality, why are they bagging up their goods as soon as we walk with a camera, not starting anything, not being hostile, and fleeing the entire block? I can't stand folks, especially people from out of state, saying, oh, they're just peaceful, they're not breaking the law, they're not breaking any laws. Or if they are not breaking the law, why does a simple camera from one person clear out 40, 60-yard Bo Jackson fucking dashes simply because you're coming out here and filming the street? That is very clearly, evidently criminal activity.
So these guys all packed up, and now they're going to their next location. They still got the Rolexes out with the AirPods, but literally just My Presence with this camera cleared out the whole entire block right here. Now they're just facing the wall. They don't want their faces to be seen right now. Look, these guys right here too. Now they put their hands up. Don't want to be seen. And a camera's not criminal, right? We can be filming here on the streets. I don't know if I can disclose this, but you're a lawyer, you're an attorney.
I'm an attorney.
Can we be filming on these streets?
Public property. This is, no one has a privacy right over any inch of this. You guys can film me, I can film you. This is a sidewalk in New York City that hardworking, tax-paying residents contribute to.
Look, we cleared this whole entire block right here.
Day by day, overtaken.
This is the continuation of Canal. We're just one block into it from Lafayette. Now we're at almost Canal and Broadway, but look at this. All of this stuff right here.
There used to be one stretch that lasted like a single block, and it was peaceful, mostly Asian Americans selling goods. They kept out of folks' way. They were happy. They were nice to people walking by, women with their strollers. Nowadays, I had someone send me a message that she was walking with her 9-year-old son, and they offered him drugs right in her presence. 2 days ago, I'm walking with 2 girls. Someone said they'd slash my face simply for holding a camera. So there's another thing too, is like someone had mentioned ICE. I've been living here for years. Other people have been living here for decades. Ask them. ICE came here for one day, for one single day, 24 hours. This place looked like Pleasantville. Women could walk peacefully with their dogs, with their children, having a coffee. ICE left, Zorn was elected. Block by block has now spread, and it is taking over entire zip codes. If ICE comes, they're gone.
What's worrying is the plain fact that this is no law and order is taking place here on Canal Street.
There's a difference between hustling, right, and trying to make a money, and then breaking the law, okay? Pimps, prostitution, things of that nature are law-breaking and are also hustles.
Entire block, we were around on the other block, and now this is another block completely filled with these stuff. Look, you can get Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, everything. And they're all obviously all counterfeit goods. And as soon as they see the camera, they're all ducking their face. Look, all the scammers have their faces down right now, or they're facing the other way. And now they're putting all this stuff away. And this open air market of fake counterfeit goods goes on for blocks. We've been from Lafayette to Canal, now we're on Broadway and Canal, now we're going over to the other side. And look, it goes not even down all the way more down Broadway. You have more blocks. This is the biggest counterfeit open air market, scam market, whatever you want to call it, in America. And look, now these guys are filming us. What they're going to do is they're going to film us, put us in their WhatsApp group chat. You guys saw as soon as I pulled up on the block, they freaked out because they obviously knew who I am because my video potentially led to some deportation. So the Canal Street vendors are on both sides of the street, from that side to that side, and then all the way down there as well. They're everywhere here. And look, they just litter the streets. And they saw the camera, so they moved off this block. And it just keeps going down and down. A lot of people are just going to start leaving New York City if law and order is not upheld.
They're paying enough in taxes. New York City is one of the highest taxed cities known to planet Earth right now, has city, state, and federal taxes. And so there's already begun a mass exodus of folks who are sick of this shit because they're getting no bang for buck out of their dollar of taxes. So they're moving to Florida where it has a lesser tax burden and has the enforcement of law and order. How does that help our tax basis for different projects that Zorn wants to do?
How much? No price? Free today? Everything free? He won't give me a price. Is it free today? No price. How much are the bags today? How much? They won't even answer me. Maybe I should start grabbing for free. How are you? How much for bag? Bro's acting like he's in the Fetty Fold right now. He's not trying to give me a price. What are we buying out here on Canal?
I bought me a little Louis bag. Y'all man.
They're clearing out right now. They're clearing out. They're clearing out. Just my presence alone here on the street is clearing out the block right now. They're yelling all sorts of stuff in French. How much? How much? Wallet, how much? No one will give me a quote with the camera. And how much are you making out here?
Like 700.
Really? So he's making $700 a day out here. So these sellers are making lots of money, $700 a day. And keep in mind, that is all tax-free. A tax-abiding citizen, if they're making $700 a day, they're gonna be given anywhere between 20 to 40, potentially even 50%, depending where you're at here in the United States, back into the hands of the government. These guys keep it all for profit. You gotta respect the hustle, but also it's illegal. They have all of the Rolexes. Oh, why can't I film? No film? I just showing the product.
He can film wherever he wants. It's a free society.
Hey.
We can film wherever we want.
We can film here on the streets.
This is a public property. This is public property.
See how hostile they get?
Public property. Just filming. We're not aggressive. We're not hostile. That's the energy you get. Now imagine being a woman walking through here with your camera on. You want to take some pictures as a tourist.
And people might say, well, what happens to all the other women? My mom literally came down here, act like she was on a FaceTime call, showing my sister what kind of product they had. And they said she was going to be in trouble for walking on these streets and filming. And right here on this block is where the deportations took place of 9 illegal migrants that were selling goods here on the street, and they were arrested, and it was a targeted arrest, and the man had been charged and convicted prior for assault, recklessly endangering, counterfeiting third degree, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, criminal sale of narcotics, possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana for sale, making false reports to law enforcement, and resisting arrest. So all these people here are not perfect law-abiding citizens here in the United States, and the deportation that took place were because of crimes like that. And right now, it looks like we had the police coming through right now. Let's see what happens. All right, they're already freaking out on us right now. We can film. No?
It's America.
This is the place where Isaiah got the punch and this jump. How do you feel to see what's going on here and now everything's back up?
It's a shame. It's a real shame. There's really no words. No words.
And to see this place where you were once jumped, just to come back with all the people right back here, does that make you feel like you're being protected here in New York City?
No, absolutely. It does rattle the nerves a little bit being out here. We're not being confrontational. We're not being aggressive to anyone. We're trying to ask questions, if anything, but people will always people will be sensitive.
What?
People will be sensitive.
No. This is a nice guy.
We legal here.
Yeah. You legal?
Right now the people here, we legal. I'm from here.
We're not checking documentation. The deportations that took place here were for some of the people out here on this block.
Exactly.
What do you think about the deportations that happened?
You can deport the criminal people,
Yep.
But here, you think the black guy here, a lot of people, they're illegal people, You don't do crime, they sell on the street bags, that's it.
So are
you don't need to fight you today, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and what do you guys think about ICE?
They work. They have to work.
So you're in support of ICE coming through here?
I support it. They take it criminal people.
Respect. And you're not...
Big time respect.
But don't put it to me, TikTok, Nikki.
Okay.
We love you.
He's saying he likes me.
I'm sorry for last time my boy fight you,
And what do you think about when my cameraman got jumped here on this corner?
I think we finally do